Good morning, this is day 123, 123, on my hike from Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail. I am getting a slower start today. I'm still packing up. As you can see, it is almost 7:15. I woke up, I slept decent, camped by myself. Camilo ended up going to where we had initially talked, so he was about a third of a mile back, but I slept pretty good. But I woke up around a couple times in the night, but the last time was around 4:30, I think, and I was considering getting moving. And I think psychologically, kind of, I was ready. I was actually okay to do it, but my body just refused. Not like sleepy tired, like sore. Like it. I was in so much pain when I woke up. Just soreness and throbbing. I actually took my food bag and I put it under my feet to elevate my feet so like the blood would come down. So I ended up just laying there because my body needed the time to recover. So even though I wasn't necessarily sleeping, I knew I just needed the time to lay, and hopefully that helped a bit. But yeah, today it's kind of crazy that I've been wanted to aim for 30 miles again, but 30 miles puts me directly in a like 2 or 3 mile zone where I'm not allowed to camp. It's like something about obsidian, which is, I believe, like the black sort of glass like material that comes from volcanoes and stuff. And it is it's like 27.5 miles to get to a junction where I can camp before that zone, or like 33.5 to get past it. And I just don't see that happening today with the late start and how sore I am. So we'll see as the day unfolds, but my plan right now is probably to just do that like 27.5 or whatever to get in front of it. Not ideal, but as long as my body's holding up, I can't be too upset about anything. So anyways, wanted to show this view though. I saw the sun peeking up, so that's why I started filming. All right, I got back on trail. It's 7:30. My left foot feels a little weird where I had that stress fracture. I am really hoping there's nothing getting damaged again here. This morning, so I tried to draw out my socks, the ones I cleaned last night. So those would have been the ones I wore, not yesterday, but the day before. And my rain jacket was wet still, so I tried to hang them, dry them out, but neither dried because it's damp and cold. So I had to make the decision, do I wear wet, semi-clean socks, or do I wear dry, dirty socks with holes in them that are giving me blisters? And I thought I was going to go with the clean, wet ones, and they're damp. And I went to put them on, it just felt so awful when it's cold and damp. And so I have my dry, dirty socks with holes in them back on again. This is day 123. I'm not really sure how I'm feeling right now. I'm kind of just going through the motions in a way today. But yeah, like I said, my body was just so sore and feet were hurting and throbbing and aching. So that's why I'm getting a later start. Really want to shave this beard off. It's starting to get annoying. I don't think I've shaved it down since Lake Tahoe, which is a while ago. Excuse me. Really hope at this youth camp. I don't know if it's a Christian youth camp. It's called the Big Lake Youth Camp. So I think there's a different one on trail that I might be confusing it with. But yeah, hopefully there's something there I can use. Small chance, but there's a chance. And here's a good example of what a burn zone looks like after a little time has passed. You see all the green growth on the bottom, some trees coming back in. Flowers, bushes. Yeah, these purple flowers seem to really like to pop up and burn zones. Some swamp vibes here. I dig it. It reminds me of the low country of South Carolina, which is near and dear in my heart. Some big rock pieces there. Well, this doesn't even show up on Far Out as a side trail, but look at this. Somebody wrote, it's a 3-mile shortcut, PCT Novo. Now, I would assure you most people are probably taking this, but I am not going to. We know why. But if there ever was a day I was tempted to do it, it's today. I am 8 miles in. It's 10 o'clock. This is the water source I was planning to fill up at. So it's good to see a creek because there's been so many kind of stagnant ponds and lake water. So this is nice water source here. Took a nice half-an-hour break. I had 1 bar of service, so did something I don't usually do on trail, but actually went off airplane mode and responded to some text messages and stuff. So it was a good break that I needed to rest my legs and everything. I'm gonna do 8.5 miles to the next water source. I'm just taking 1 liter, which might be a little aggressive given I have over 1,000-foot climb and it's starting to get hotter out, but I just drank a ton of water at the source and that's where I'll plan to take lunch. So that'll put me at over 16.5 miles for the day so far. So I'll probably rest there for lunch. It's at a lake called Three Sisters Lake, which is the name, Three Sisters, the name of the wilderness I believe we're in, or I'm in. Y'all are along for the ride here. So hopefully you kind of feel like you're here. Yeah, that's the plan. And I will kind of reassess from there because I'm still at the minimum. I'm going to do that 27.5 total to get to in front of this. I think it's like a 3-mile stretch. Obsidian Falls, I think, is the main focal point of that 3-mile stretch, where there's just a bunch of obsidian and I guess like a waterfall on it. And you're not allowed to camp there for the most part. There's a bunch of restrictions and new specific permits you need, and even if you have it, you can't camp within 100 feet. It's like, and I read comments that a ranger's been revoking PCT permits from people for not following it, so it's just easiest to avoid I'm just not going to camp in there. So I'll either have to push through, and at that point it'll probably be dark, which is disappointing because I think this is one of the highlights of this area, or I'll just get to that, I'll camp in front of it and do it early in the morning. So we'll see, but get to lunch and kind of reassess. It's a rare open space here. Really stands out because it doesn't happen too often. Kind of feels nice. Not sure exactly how to explain it or why, but it just feels nice being, I don't know, after doing it for so long and so many miles, you almost feel a little, I don't say claustrophobic, but and it's different when you're exposed in a burn zone, but actually it's an open field like this. It's nice to mix it up once in a while. I have to stop and swap my socks out even because of these holes. I mean, even though I have Leukotape and now KT tape, because my whole strip of Leukotape yesterday is no good now. So whatever I'd left. So I have Leukotape on my right one, KT tape, which isn't as good on the other, protecting the holes, the blisters. The holes are getting bigger and it's just irritating me. So I'm going to put the socks that are still drying on and try to figure out what to do about this. Yeah, look at this. This is KT tape, the black strip. It's already worn through. You see that? Leukotape doesn't do that. And the Leukotape on my other foot, here's some Leukotape, has been on there for over a day. This one's been on there for a few days because of blisters. It just molds part of your skin. Yeah, this is trash. And you see the hole getting bigger than the tape I had underneath. Once again, but check this out. The Leukotape is so solid. Stuff even stays on when you shower. so I haven't used it. This is the trailhead to go into Elk Lake Lodge or Resort or something, which I'm not doing. Some snow on the mountains behind all these trees in the background. A few of them, just a little bit, but it's there. About 13 miles in for the day. Caught up to my homie Camilo. How's it going, bud? All right, I'm coming up on its sister's Mirror Lake. Not like it really matters that much, but I wanted to correct the record because I did say Three Sisters earlier, but that is the wilderness I'm in, Sister's Mirror Lake. And I'm gonna take my lunch break here. I'm like 16 and a half or so miles in. Pretty sore, but really grateful for how my body's holding up overall. Let's see, not much of a place to stop here. I know there's tent sites down a little ways. I can probably go there. Jinkuya, my name's Borat. I just finished lunch. I had it with Camilo, so that was really nice, but he's going to camp before this area you cannot camp in. It's called Obsidian Falls, and my plan, I just decided, is to try to push through. So I've done a little under 17 miles already. I think I'm going to try to do 17 more. That would undoubtedly push me into nighttime hiking, but my thought is that will leave me less miles tomorrow to get into this youth camp, Big Lake Youth Camp, and hopefully I can just be uploading videos and I can just rest while I'm uploading videos. So I am kind of consciously messing up my sleep schedule so I can hopefully get some videos up. Yeah, but that's the plan. We'll see. It's very ambitious because that'd put me at my most mileage ever, 34, 35. So I'm not absolutely committed to it, but there is a stretch of 3 miles that I can't camp in. So at the very least, once I enter that, I got to keep going. So we'll see how it unfolds. Okay, I just looked it up on Google because Far Out wasn't showing it. I think with what I had downloaded on Far Out, I think this is South Sister Peak or Mountain, and that's North Sister. There's also one kind of Broken Top that was more like that direction if the compass was accurate, but that kind of looks like a quote-unquote broken top, so something like that around here. So this right here is what I call one of those quintessential PCT moments, like what I, based on all the documentaries I watched, what I thought it'd always be like. Simple, nice and flat. I mean, look, I did my research. I know there was a lot of elevation gain and all that, but I mean, from what I was depicted in all these documentaries I watched, just like easy stroll in the park with beautiful scenery everywhere, sun's out, like, yeah, quintessential PCT moment. Well, I really like this part. This is cool, probably for the obvious reasons, as were somewhat explicitly or implied, explicitly stated or implied just before this. But nice open field, fairly flat trail without any giant roots or rocks sticking out every 2 feet. Beautiful backdrop. Yeah, I could get used to this. Just need to see like a buffalo running by, which they don't have here, but you get my point. Okay, just based on the name and the aesthetics only and the rough geography I know, I'm gonna say that's Broken Top. That's South Sister, and that's North Sister. Boom. Man, I wish more of the trail was like this, where you can sort of see vast expanse in both directions, sort of where you're going. Like obviously when you're up high and you see mountains down below, but it's a little different when it's kind of in a valley and it's flat and you can see all around. It's pretty cool. It is so quiet and desolate out here, like no people. Passed 2 Sobos earlier this morning and then saw Camilo, that's it. I am like hurting, like left foot, light pain, exact feeling I had with the stress fracture. And just super beat up. So I might be reverting back to the original plan of just doing 27.5 today. I'm gonna do 4 more miles at the next water source and reassess, but this is only 3.8 miles since lunch, and I just sat here probably for 30 minutes, like massaging my feet, and just they're aching and throbbing. Like it was way too long of a water break for 4 miles after lunch. So this says a lot. Well, things just took quite a turn. I smell smoke, as you can see it there. No clue what that's from. Maybe the immigrant fire still, I don't know. I'm in another burn zone, whatever. My foot though, my left foot, I feel like that stress fracture is flirting with coming back right now. I am freaking livid about it. So, I mean, it's hot. I took my electrolytes earlier. I still feel irritable. Like, this shit's hard, man. Freaking hard. 1,960 some miles of this shit. Another nice 900-foot climb over 3 to 4 miles. Actually, it was 950 something, so close to 1,000. My watch died, so I don't have my stats right now, but I think I was around 2,000 feet in elevation gain already, which isn't crazy, but certainly not flat and easy. I just took my phone off airplane mode to see if I can get service, to check watch duty, make sure that I'm not walking into a new fire that just started or something. I did just have 2 people pass me though heading southbound, so that obviously is a good sign. 2 more actually coming up here. All right, I just asked 2 very friendly Sobos and talked for a couple minutes. So I guess there was a new, this is probably mostly immigrant fire, but there isn't, because the winds have changed. I guess because the storm system's coming in. There's like different pressure differential and it's pulling a little smoke here. But there was a new fire near Mount Jefferson as of last night, because there was a big lightning storm, I guess, last night out here. I didn't notice it last night. I did 2 nights ago, but Mount Jefferson is a ways to the west from the trail, so I don't think there's really any risk of a closure, or if I happen to find myself in a crazy scenario before word got around and it closed, that like it spread, I don't think there's any risk of the fire. It's just smoke with the direction of the wind. So back to this, not a huge deal. It's just it's hard out here sometimes. I mean, almost always, but it's starting to, like I said yesterday or the day before, like on the macro level, really taking its toll. Day 123. This is when I really got to just dig deep in me to find that resolve to keep continuing forward with everything I listed earlier going on, and this climb, and now more smoke. And yeah, I'm tired. I'm really tired, but I feel moderately strong, like my body. I also feel really weak, but could be way worse. Weak meaning like the aches and pains, but overall, I'm grateful for how I'm feeling. Just gotta power through. Full heart, can't lose, clear eyes. Full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes. Full heart, can't lose, clear eyes. Full heart, can't lose, clear eyes. There's been plenty of sections where there's like some water in trail, but like this is like totally flooded. I gotta find a reroute here. I mean, this can't be that recent. Okay, I'm gonna get some water actually from this. I think this is snowmelt. This isn't even listed on Far Out. There is a creek that's listed just before this trail was flooded out. Interesting. I've never seen this yet. The whole trail. The comments were saying it was flowing at night, but not during the day. So I think that implies it's melting snow or snow melt. And I think this is probably either, excuse me, it's rerouted from where that icon was, like before this, or somehow the icon's just not in the right place. But obviously there's plenty of water here, and it's probably better and fresher than what the pond I was planning to get in 0.7 miles. So I have to decide right now what I'm going to do because of water carrier for the night. And I am sore, and I feel like it'd be prudent to stop, do the earlier part, 27 miles in the day, but that's only 4 miles away, 3.7 miles away, and it's 5:30. Like, that's just not, there's still hiking time today. So, but then there's this 3-mile section after that you can't camp. So it's either 27 miles or like 34 miles. And I think I decided I'm going to do the 34. I pray that doesn't screw up my body, but that will leave me in a better position to get into the Big Lake Youth Camp tomorrow. Excuse me. Hopefully at a reasonable time. So I think that's the plan. I guess I could always bail when I get to, well, I'd need to be carrying more water now actually, so I really can't. But yeah, I think that's the plan. What am I seeing here? Back there. Oh, I haven't acknowledged or said this yet. The reason I'm focused on the arrival time at Big Lake Youth Camp is because you're not allowed to camp there. I just learned, and they're very welcoming to hikers, but they have a building just for PCT hikers, but it's from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. it's open, where you can do laundry and shower, all for free, Wi-Fi, but you can't camp there. And so like my initial plan was to get there, stay the night, and just upload videos, like wake up, whenever time I wake up at night, just get a new one going. That's not possible anymore. So my plan is, and this kind of sucks because I'm on a good schedule right now, but it's to basically forego sleeping some tonight and use that to hike, and then basically get there so then I can be like half in and out of sleep and uploading videos and like getting my chores done. Maybe that's dumb, but I think I'm kind of in the fourth quarter, as we've acknowledged many times here, so I think it's the right move. I've got a long night ahead of me. Probably, I don't have my watch, but I could look. My guessing is 9 to 10 miles still to go. Good amount of elevation gain. I'm very curious to see what this Obsidian Falls looks like. It's going to be dark by the time I get there, but it's close to full moon, so it might be really cool. Oh, had a little quick chat with that man. He was looking for a certain place, but it wasn't in my Far Out app, but he figured it out. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying exactly, but it'll be cool to see Obsidian Falls because it's going to be a bright moon, so it might be super, super like trippy and cool. I'm kind of excited. I don't know, with all these comments I'm reading about permits getting revoked and stuff, like I kind of just want to walk through there. It sounds like there's an asshole of a ranger, but Which honestly, it's crazy to me that just one random ranger anywhere along the trail can just completely has the right to revoke your permit for the whole trail. Like, should be some kind of appeal process or something. Like, I would not let that shit slide. If some ranger tried to revoke my permit and I wasn't consciously doing something I knew was like illegal or something, I would fight that tooth and nail. But, anyways, I would love to sit at those falls. It's the next water source. It's about 7 miles from here. 6.5 maybe, and make dinner there because I'm gonna have to eat at some point. But like based on what I'm reading, I don't know, but I think I might do that. I'll see. I'll vibe it out for sure. But yeah, it's gonna be a long evening here. I'm ready for it. Definitely in a little bit more of pain and all that, but I'm doing okay overall. My left foot's not hurting the way it was a couple miles ago. Hopefully it stays that way, and a bunch of other aches and pains I don't need to mention, but overall doing okay. Probably about 25 miles in or so if I had to guess right now for the day. Yeah, I just checked. I'm 25.5 miles in right now, so still have like, I don't know, 8.5 to 10 depending on how far that campsite is. I loosely remember. Whoa, I just looked back. Check this out. That's beautiful. I'm gonna grab a photo. Now this is very different than the ones I saw out there, but these look like blueberries to me. And there was a comment in file that said so many blueberries in the meadow after that pond I just passed. So I guess I'll try them, but that's definitely a different kind of plant and much smaller and lower than the other ones I was picking. They're so delicious, I just threw my trekking poles down. I'm gonna get some Purell out and just go to town on these things. There must be different types of blueberries. They're so good. Well, deer sightings have become so frequent that I kind of stopped feeling them a long time ago for the most part. But I haven't seen one in a few days. And there was just one right there. So it was closer to the trail and then it ran away a little bit. Just watching me. Probably eating blueberries too. They're pretty good, huh? Okay, march away. I love how they trot. So cool. That's a beautiful deer. And the sun's in between those little trees there. This camera doesn't capture it the way it looks. I just passed where initially I was considering camping, 27.5 miles in. I'm so exhausted and hurting, but nothing too serious. Now you gotta push through. It's either 27 or like 33 or 34. And 27 is just not gonna cut it for this stretch of the PCT. So, I've got my work cut out for me still for the night. But I will be going through something called Obsidian Falls, where a waterfall hits down on a bed of obsidian. Pretty cool. I don't know how much I'll be able to see by the time I'm there at the dark, but I might try to stop there and have dinner. Yes, I am urinating and filming. Oh, Snow Mount Shasta, it's still very nice. That's South Sister, and that's North Sister. I filmed them earlier. Now I'm from a very different perspective. Are very majestic though. The Cascades definitely have their own charm about them, that's for sure. Well, I kind of wish I had carried more water because kind of want to camp here. It's just so beautiful in every direction. But I only have half a liter, and that's not going to be enough to get me through the night. Sorry, just got attacked by a bug. Through the night and the morning, and to get me to the next water source in the morning. Wow, you really take the highs with the lows out here, that's for sure. I mean, today I can count the times, except for the little stint with the shin splints where I recorded some of my swearing here and there. Like, I can probably, the amount of times I've actually sworn like really loud, frustrated out loud here is probably less than 20, probably closer to like 15 for the whole hike. And I've been so frustrated and so challenging, and so many challenging hard times. So like, and what I'm getting at is today, just now before I filmed this, I was like, wow, this is so beautiful, so cool. And just like 2 or 3 hours ago, I swore out loud, really out loud, shortly before or after I said how things have really took a turn here with the smoke and everything. It's just so volatile out here. I mean, look at, literally 2 hours ago, I was in a burn zone. There was smoke from a new fire, climbing uphill in the heat, in the peak of the day, with potentially a re-emerging stress fracture. I still kind of feel that a little bit, but put that aside. And just very exhausted. And now you see this, it's just breathtaking view. Still exhausted, but the rest of it is just, it's so different than just a few hours back. So I guess you take the highs with the lows out here. I've heard that before. I have to agree with that. It's a cool sunset, but I think it's probably partially, or if a lot of that color, because of the smoke. I'm feeling a little weird. I think it's just exhaustion and hunger and all that, but hopefully those were actually blueberries. I basically just took someone on the internet's word for it. I mean, I say it loosely. Like, I do largely trust that hikers out here are not going to be putting comments about things just to mess with people, or that they aren't confident of. Somebody said those were in fact blueberries. They mostly tasted like blueberries, and they looked like them, so I ate probably about 60 of them, maybe more. What a panoramic though this is. Jeez. So sunset is in 10 minutes. I've got 1.5 miles to get to Obsidian Falls, like the actual falls. So there might still be some like twilight, kind of dusk light where I can get a look at it. I don't see the moon yet, but I feel like it should be up. Again, I can't check on my watch when the moon rises, but it was out pretty early last night. I'm pretty sure by the time it was like dark, the moon was in full force. So I am kind of looking forward to these falls. Left foot is bugging me again, but I'm really hopeful it's just general fatigue and not like the stress fracture, but it feels like it's in the same spot. Pretty cool how that sunset is like perfectly aligned with a slight little bit of trail that's going west. I really do not caught enough sunsets or sunrises on this trip, but it's not why I'm out here, but it would be nice to get more of them. Man, it is such a bummer how this distance spacing worked out, where like my 30 miles lands right in the middle of this like no camping zone, because I'm pretty exhausted, and I don't really want to be pushing 34 miles today, but I don't have another option. It's either that or I only hike 27 and a half ish, because I saw a few other campsites like half a mile after. And that's just not sufficient for Oregon and given my situation. It's just not. Like, I need to be doing high 20s, low 30s every day out here. So yeah, I'm just wiped, and I do not like setting up camp in the dark, but it's not a huge deal. It's just way harder, and whatever. I'll handle it, but it's not something I'm looking forward to. Sounds like a laser. So there's a bunch of tent sites like right next to this, but I think I was reading comments and people lost their permits. Like someone was being a dick, so I'm just gonna hike through, maybe stop to eat dinner. But my permit does let me walk through this. You just can't camp in it, apparently. And you're not supposed to like, go off trail, it's up to get water. So I'm a bit of a prisoner for a few miles here. I was getting my headlamp out and my watch was charging in the pack, so it's back on at 95% charge. But I was getting this out and I realized I have not put my sunglasses on all day. And I think this might be the only day in the whole trail that's been the case. Cool. Well, I think the trail's gonna get a little closer, but it's gonna be hard to see now at nighttime, but you can obviously hear it. Obsidian Falls. So I think it lands on a bed of obsidian down there somewhere. Oops. Look at all of it. This is literally on trail, so it must be so abundant that nobody even cares. It's like being stepped down on trail. Oh yeah, look at that. It's everywhere. Very cool. All right, the trail continues up there. There's a small down trail here, and I hear the falls. So I think I'm gonna go somewhere around here. Hopefully it's a good place to sit, collect some water, make dinner. Cool, check this out. Literally, basically right on trail. Okay, it is 9:15 p.m. Oh, heck yeah, there's the moon coming up. I'll show you in a sec. I just had an amazing dinner next to Obsidian Falls. Hanging out with some daddy long leg-esque spiders. And, oh, I see some eyes up there. Presume that's a deer. And just refilled my water. It was just a really great stop. So now I have 3 miles to where I'm gonna camp. Instead of going all the way to where I was planning, I'm just gonna get out of this section. I was planning to camp somewhere by water, but instead I'm just carrying like 1.25 liters. I drank a ton just now and I had dinner already, so I think that would be good. All right, let me show you this moon and I'll get moving. That's cool. It just got covered up, but yesterday looked probably like pretty full, so, or I'd say like 80%, so today's probably even closer. Paralleling creek kind of here. The falls were awesome. Like when I kept climbing next to it, it's just so loud and forceful. It's kind of cool out, especially when I was sitting still, so I wanted to retain my heat, so I put on both my fleece and my rain jacket just because it was more accessible than my puffy, which was in my liner and closed up. And so I don't really ever need it except late at night. Usually I'm not night hiking, but the rain jacket does a pretty good job. But I just got a nice warm wave of hot air, so it felt really good. It's kind of like pockets of cold and hot air here for some reason. This little valley. I'm sure this will look a lot cooler during the day, but there's obsidian everywhere. It's pretty sweet. There's literally like, it's everywhere. Just like walking on it. I don't think those are eyes. I think it was a tent. Somebody's camping either illegally as a PCT but probably not. Probably somebody that has the permit for here. It was just up on a hill, and like I realized it was a tent after it wasn't moving, and then I saw a different angle. a good sized toad or frog. Here's another one right in the middle of the trail. This one's not moving. It is probably like the size of the palm of my hand. Like it would kind of like fit my hand. Probably hard to gauge that. All right, come on, little guy. Hurry up. Here, you can see it next to my foot. Oh God, that hurt my left foot. Damn it. I do think I have reignited a little bit of that stress fracture injury, which is not good, folks. I've been trying to take care of baby it all day, like I was when I had it, so it wouldn't make it worse, but I just felt it there. Okay, one day at a time. I got 2 more miles to get to where I'm planning to camp. Now, if there's other people camped there, which is a possibility, because if I was a Sobo, it's like the first tent site coming south before you hit this no camping zone, I'd consider camping there. Now, if I were doing it personally, I'd be the one campsite further for me, and for them, like further away from here, because there's water there, but there's a decent chance there's going to be somebody camped there. And if there is, then I might keep going so I don't disturb them. Although I've been disturbed by night hikers before. It happens. It's annoying. I really don't like being that person, but the few times I've done it, everyone's always like, dude, it's part of it. You can't think about it like that. But so we'll see. But almost the end of the day, a little worried about this foot. All right, and I just left the obsidian area. So got like 1.3 miles to go to where I'm trying to camp. Well, this is a mile shorter than I was planning to go, but that looks like a tent spot right there. So I'm gonna do this called night. This has been day 123. I'll see you all tomorrow.